So if you don't have enough time to lead generate, the solution is to not lead generate. The solution is to figure out what is taking up my calendar. Write everything down that you're doing for 2 weeks straight, everything, every single thing. And then you look at those and go, is this costing me? Is this generating me money? Is this a dollar productive activity? Because running an MLS report is necessary. It's not a dollar productive activity. Anybody could do that for you. Dropping off a sign, a lockbox, not dollar productive. Anybody could do that for you. Okay. Start listing the things off. If it's not lead generation, buyer seller appointments, negotiating contracts, coaching or classes that's helping you in your career, or networking for new people, it's not dollar productive, people. It is not dollar productive if it's not one of those things. And let me repeat those, okay? If it is not lead generation, okay, lead generation. Or what if it's a buyer or seller appointment? Negotiating contracts, okay? Education and coaching to further your career, but don't hide in the classroom either. And networking to meet new sphere of influence. If it's not one of those things, it's not dollar productive. Figure out how you can get rid of it. Okay. And I'm not saying you can get rid of all of it, because you have to lead with revenue, right? You can't get rid of everything and hire an assistant if you don't have the money to do it yet, but you can start slowly. You could use Fiverr, Fiverr.com to give up some of your marketing. Okay. You could use Upwork to give up some of your stuff. You could use a transaction coordinator that you pay out of the closing, no risk up front, to get rid of some of that work. Lead generation is not something that we're going to move. Okay. I want you guys to know, I think I told you this on the last one. The National Association of Realtors did a study, and 70% of an agent's gross commission income comes from their sphere of influence. 70%. So if you're telling me, Amber, I don't have time to do this, what's the point? Because what we're teaching you here in this program is where 70% of your income is going to come from. Then you should be spending 70% of your time, of your budget, maybe even, on your sphere of influence. Okay. You've got to make time. You can't afford not to. I care about you enough to tell you the truth. Okay. I'm not trying to be lectury. I just really want you guys to succeed. So many of you are succeeding, but I want you to keep growing without going nuts. And I want you to be able to have a life. I want you to be able to win in business, but not lose in life. And these are key concepts you have to have in order to do that. Okay. So if you got to give up something, there's not more hours in the day. What there is leveraging out. Okay. You can also get efficient. The more you lead generate, the faster you get at it, just so you know. Okay. So don't expect success where there's no discipline. Okay. Don't expect success where there's no discipline. It's not going to happen. And think about this, guys. I'm going to end with this. Like, when you got up this morning, did you get up to be mediocre? I think not. I think not. You got up to make your goals happen. You got in the business to make your goals happen. Okay. So think about, why are you doing this? Think about your big why and reattach yourself to it. Okay. And think, here's why I need to make my contacts. But I'm going to tell you the truth. Most people do not work towards pleasure. They run from pain, including myself, you guys. What I mean by that is, we can make vision boards, right? We can make vision boards, which I'm all for. Have a big why in front of you at all times. And you could be looking at that and still not make your contacts, because that's the pleasure part. For me, it wasn't until I attached to the pain of not doing those things that I started to make action happen. Because if you're waiting to feel motivated, if you're waiting to feel comfortable, it may never happen. Okay. You have to get up and go, okay, I'm going to look at that vision board and go, what will happen if I don't do that? Let me connect to that. What's the pain of that? Okay. What will happen if you don't succeed, you guys? Start thinking that way. And then when you don't get your contacts done, here's what you're going to connect it to your big why. Let's say your big why is to put your kids through college. And if you decide today that you don't want to lead generate, or you didn't make the time to lead generate, then you should just be saying to yourself, so if I don't lead generate today, I'm making a conscious decision that I'm okay with my kids not going to college. Start thinking about it that way, because that is so much different than, oh, I get to go on a cruise. It's like, oh, well, then that's awesome, the cruise. But if there's not a consequence, psychologically, studies show we run from pain, not towards pleasure. Isn't that sick, y'all? I don't know why, but that's the case. So be thinking to yourself every day, why are you making these contacts? And what will happen if you don't? Because God didn't make you to be mediocre. He made you to be amazing, and you already are amazing. But if you're waiting to feel amazing to make action steps, it may never happen, you guys. Because we don't go off our feelings, we go off what we need to do.